Alrighty traders, so this video, 3 amazing trading setups and patterns that I look for and I use every single day. The first section here is going to be about bullish breakouts, what to look for, how to spot false breakouts, and so much more. And also how to get not shaken out too early on the bullish breakouts. Then I'm going to show you the flip side of what to look for on the bearish breakouts, because you do know, as of doing this video for you, you do know that gold, silver, mining stocks, even the stock market's going to have a bit of a correction soon, and possibly even a really big drop into next year as well too. But as the market does start to continue going down, that's going to be very, very helpful. But then also part 3 on this, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a timestamp on here as well too. There's going to be something on the end of this video. It's going to call something called a channel trade. The channel trade is an amazing breakout trading strategy that gives you a high probability of seeing a really big move in that direction. So, hope you really enjoyed this, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Which strategy do you like best? And I'll see you real soon. One of the greatest trading strategies, I believe, and one of the things that I do myself, focusing on more like breakout type of trading. And I want to share something with you that normally happens with this strategy that I think can really sort of get a lot of people on the wrong side, as in getting out too early. And there's something that I've noticed time and time again, whenever we do get a good breakout, a lot of the times it can shake you out for a short term and then the big move happens. I'm going to share with you this pattern here that forms. I'm going to walk you through some trades that I've done in the last few months to show you examples and how you don't want to get out too early, because after the short term, what I call shake and bake, that's when the big move happens. So quick disclaimer, guys, we're going to get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So I've just recorded a brand new trading course and I'm giving you a free access to this. This is broken down into 4 different parts. Part number 1 is about the foundations, the biggest mistakes you're making right now, what goes into a good trader. Part number 2 is about the chart reading techniques that's been working since the 1950s. This chart reading, part number 3, advanced chart reading, is about the techniques that I've actually only learned from my millionaire mentor, not from books. And then also my number 1 top trading system mastery. I give you all of that for free and I'm giving it to you. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now or click on the very first link in the description. One of the big things that I've just noticed time and time again is, we're looking at a screen right now, okay? We're looking at, say, for example, platinum here. And this is just one of many trades that I've done. And one of the really big things I've noticed, this doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it can happen here, okay? So let me show you this here. So I'm a very big, what's called a breakout type of trader, okay? And the reason why I like trading breakouts is because, to me, I'm all about trying to position myself for a risk to reward, right? So I'm trying to get that 4, 5, 6 times profit compared to my risk in the markets. I'm always trying to go for that, especially in this day and age, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you know, the day trading style of trading, especially this year, people are just getting their heads handed to them. So I'm really grateful that I trade this strategy, because it allows me, even if I do go through a bit of a rough patch, it allows me to have these big profits, small losses here. Now, thankfully, I haven't had a rough patch this year. I was actually talking with my 1% coaching club group, as my inner circle group. I'm actually with them every single day, sort of coaching them and guiding them. I've actually got 2 spots left open, guys. So if you want to get access to that, you want to get access to me every single day for a few hours, where I'm showing you everything, coach you and guiding you through this process, and you need a lot more hand holding, then I've got 2 spots left open, guys. There's that second link in the description. That's an application form, and you'll be able to speak to me and we'll have a chat there. So the thing that I really want to bring, one thing that I was really sort of bringing home, and I was just saying to my 1% club group this year, I didn't realize, I went through all my stats and I've only had 2 losses this year. For my entire year, I've only had 2 losses. So it's actually been quite amazing. But the most amazing thing is I've only had 2 losses, and I would have to say at least a large percent of my profits have been really big profits, and platinum is one of those. This is the platinum chart here, and I was going through this here, and one thing I've noticed, especially this year more than ever, is that whenever we do get the breakout, right? So whenever we do get the breakout here, see this breakout here. Now there's certain things that you want to see before the breakout. A bit of a little tip for you guys is that typically there's two different types of breakouts that happen with this here. The one breakout that I don't trade is this. Just say, for example, we have a resistance up through here, okay? We might have resistance here, right? And then we get an up move, and then we get a breakout like that, right? I don't trade these breakouts here. And the reason why is because if there's a thing called price and time in the market. So what that simply means is that after a certain move up, and you see this even with all markets, even with platinum, right? We saw the move up from here, and then we have a drop down. After a while, if the market's been going up for quite some time, and this could be, say, 2 weeks on a daily chart, okay? If we're seeing that on a daily chart, okay, and we're seeing that process there on a daily chart, then one thing I've found is I use this like an energy field. The market goes up, and then we break. Typically what happens here is we might get that, and then it just reverses and comes back down. And so I don't like to trade this here. What I like to trade is instead of, as you can see, it actually went up first and then we got the breakout. What I personally like to trade myself is I like to see, just say for example, we have once again the resistance here. The market goes up, hits resistance, comes up, hits resistance, and then we get some sort of what's called resting phase or a time phase or it's called a refueling phase. So the market's going up here, but we've got a bit of a pullback here, a bit of a rest first. This is what's called the refueling phase for me. And then if I can get something like that going on, this here is so much more high probability of it actually being a true breakout before the run. So if you guys are worried about false breakouts and stuff like that, use that as a bit of a guideline, because I promise you most of the time, most false breakouts happen when they happen right here. So the market's gone up and then we get the breakout here. We need time to refuel, okay? And as you can see, even through this previous, look at this here, even though we had a very big move up, we eventually get what? That. And you can actually see, for me personally, I got in on platinum right here, on this breakout here. And as you can see, the market went sideways through here. And also, bit of an extra tip for you guys that are trading breakout trading strategies. And again, in that trading course below there, and actually the very first video you actually get, guys, when you get access to that free trading course, first link in the description. The free trading course is just amazing, by the way, guys. There's so much amazing stuff in there. But the very first video you get after registering for the free course, the very first video you get is actually a 25-minute video walking you through my actual trading strategy that I look for with the breakouts there. But looking at this level here, right, and looking at this breakout here, few things. Firstly, wait for a sideways period. Notice how we had all this sideways period through here first, and then we had the breakout. That was the thing for me, as I need to see the sideways first. If this continued up through here, like this, and then broke out through there, more times than not, that's called a false breakout. That will break. It's likely to be a false breakout. And then what's likely to happen is we're likely to pull back first, do that, then get a bit of what's called a resting phase or a pullback first, and then we get going, and then that's the true breakout. Many times in my past, I'd actually trade this, I'd get stopped out, I wouldn't trade this, but this one here was the start of the big move. So again, FYI, wait for the pullback first on the breakouts. That's number one, right? Because I look at it from an energy field, right? If we've gone up, we're using a lot of energy. This is called the market's buying and uses a lot of energy. And if we get a breakout up here, we've been using a lot of energy here. Wait for this thing to do this sideways, this point through here, and then that's when I look to enter. Then on the breakout, make sure the breakout itself is really big in volume, right? So if I open up my volume here, you'll notice that this breakout here that I took here, firstly, what did we have? We had the sideways period here for a bit of time through here, as you can see. But also, secondly, we had a massive volume spike. If we can get a sideways period first, and we get a very dominant bar breaking out, see how it's really breaking out. It's not just a small little breakout, it's a full breakout, but with a massive volume spike. Massive volume spike is institutions saying they're getting involved with it. Okay, so it's actually a bit of a tip here, but obviously this video is about the breakout trading strategy and how to avoid exiting too early. Now, look what actually happened here initially, right? Look what actually happened here. If I open this up, notice that was the entry there. Okay, so this was actually my trade I did. I actually made 250% return on this trade here. I did this with my inner circle members, by the way. And so a breakout trading strategy here, right? So it actually broke out through here, but notice, firstly, it was a good trade, but notice what it did first. And this is where I was really, every day I was with my coach, especially my 1% group, and I was with them every day and walking through this process here, and I was teaching them not to get shaken out too early, because a lot of the times, or should I say some of the times, if you get in on a breakout, but the market may just pause and go sideways overall. See how it's not really selling off quite strongly. If it sells off quite strongly, yep, that's a loss there. But one thing I've noticed is that if I get into the trade and then it just goes sideways here, it breaks out, but we don't get any follow through. This here was for about 2 weeks. And this 2 week period, this is where a lot of traders get shaken out. And the FOMO, oh my goodness, it's not going to work. And then they get shaken out. And then as you can see, that's when the big move really happened, right? And so one thing I've noticed, and the title of the video, right, how to avoid exiting too early and ride the full move, is whenever we do, just say we get the sideways period from here, we get the nice breakout. Sometimes, now this is not all the time. Sometimes it just takes off like a rocket, right? But especially this year, I've noticed, is that it'll break out, it'll go like that, and then it may just do this here for a little bit. Just hold there. Now, I used to get out on this, I'm like, oh, it's not working. And then the market would run on, as you can see through here. So that was one trade through there that I did that represents that. Another trade for me is GRPN, right? So as you can see here, this was a trade that I did, but notice what it did afterwards. So this breakout bar, this was a very big, strong, I'll just show you this here so you can actually see it. So this one was a big, massive resistance all through there, as you can see. Big, massive resistance all through there. And I got in on this breakout bar right here. Now, as you can see, what did we have first? Firstly, we had what? Firstly, we had the sideways period first, and then the breakout, right? So that's now we're in the trade. This is for me. Now I'm in the trade. Let's manage it properly so we don't actually miss out. But notice what happened here once again. This one here actually gave me a 300% return on my options, because these were both options trades. So, but notice what actually happened here. What happened? As soon as I got into it, it went sideways for about a week, actually for about 2 weeks. It went sideways, had a nice move up, sideways, had a nice move up, and that's exactly where I actually entered. That's exactly where I actually exited. And the reason why I exited was because, very, very simple, that there was the first reversal type of bar that was showing me that it's probably slowing down from here. So there's 2 examples there, and I'll show you another example, like a real, I've got many screenshots of trades and stuff that I've done in the past. But let me show you this here, because it's really important to, if you're trading breakouts, firstly, understand what really gives actually, before I do that, just before I forget, Alibaba was one of those ones that actually gave a false breakout, and I could see this happening a mile away. Now, look at this here. Notice Alibaba had what? See, Alibaba actually had, see that breakout there? Why did Alibaba break out here but fail? Remember I said before, what? If the market's going up for quite some time and then we get the breakout, why did that breakout fail and then now we've done nothing ever since? Remember I said before, right? When we have the resistance, the market's hit resistance, and then we go up, and then we continue getting a breakout. We don't want that. What we want is what? We want it to hit resistance, give a little sideways period for a week or 2 or 3. This gives it, this now lets the market rest. It's called refueling, and then we get going again. And this here is the true breakout. This is the reason why I didn't trade this breakout, because it had no sideways period first, right? So you see that through there. I just wanted to, before I forgot, especially because this video is all about trading breakouts from that level there. Once again, guys, that first video in that free trading course I'm giving away, first link in the description, I actually walk you through the exact 4-step rules that I use to get in and qualify a real good, true, high probability breakout. But I'm going to show you a trade that happened, and it was just an amazing trade. And I was walking through this with some of my, I was actually walking through this with my 1% group, and it was just amazing. And it's actually called, these are different trades here that I take, and all of them are breakout trades, by the way. But they're just variations of breakout trades. Some breakout trades only last a short term, where other trades are more like really longer term stuff. You can hold on to it for a few months and jump on a really big, massive profit. Like a Groupon trade or even a platinum trade, hold on to it for 4, 5, 6 weeks and pick up not just a 30% profit or a 50% profit, but pick up some really, really big profits here. So I'm just trying to see, where is that? That's that one there. I'm looking for 24. Okay, so it was more like a level 2 trade. I won't go into too much details about the level 2 trade, but I'm just trying to see where this, right here, right? So let me bring this up here. So this here was what's called a breakout trade. And let me actually, I'll zoom this in here right now. So it's, I won't get into too much details of it, but firstly, notice how, see where the arrow is on this one here? Oh, see where the arrow is right here? Notice how we had the breakout here? What did we have before the breakout? See the sideways bit, and then we had the breakout? See, that's the thing that gives you confidence, right? So I've shown you now 3 examples of when you get the sideways period before the breakout, it's likely to be a true breakout, especially if you get the big volume bar, a big breakout bar and volume increase. Perfect, okay? But just like Alibaba, what you want to be careful of the false breakouts is that there is when the market does that, okay? Now, one thing that, and as you can see here, what actually happened with this one here? This one here went from $60 all the way up to about 120. Now, what did this have here? Let me show you. Notice how what? We got into the breakout, and once again, even this one did what? See how it did nothing? It actually held here. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 2 weeks. If this is a daily chart, so about 2 weeks. So the reason why this is so important is because a lot of my big profits that I get into is that a lot of the times I'll see a breakout, I'll get into the breakout, and then I'm actually holding on to it for 2 weeks and it's not doing anything. It's just going sideways. That's okay, because I've always found, just like this example, just like my platinum trade I showed you, even Groupon, just because you get on a breakout and it doesn't do anything for a few days, that's okay. Because as you can see, then guess what? That's when the real big move actually kicked in. It just broke out. When it broke out, it just needed a little bit of time. And the time that I notice here is this. See my purple moving average? This is what's called my 9 moving average. I've always found that typically what happens is when you get the breakout, the 9 moving average from here will then start to increase like that. See how it increases? And then what ends up happening is that it breaks out, and then we go sideways to the 9 moving average, and then the 9 moving average pushes it up from there. Make sense? So this here is what you want to do. This is the whole point, purpose of the video, is that to guide you down how to avoid exiting too early and ride the full move. Now, another tip for you guys when looking to exit trades like this is you want a very strong close below the 9 moving average. So I always use the 9 moving average as an example, and as you can see here, right, like the just a very simple tool. As you can see here, stayed there, closed right near it there. So this is the exit here. So there would have been a entry there around $60, and that was a full close below around that 120, was around about there, by utilizing a very strong close below the 9 moving average. So that's just a few things about what's called exiting too early, but there's other things I can teach you there. But I really want to do this video here because I know a lot of traders who are trading out, who are trading, yeah, you just don't want to get out too early. Hey traders, it's John Howell here. Today, what I want to do is I want to share with you a pretty powerful pattern that you can look out for when you're trading that just works amazingly well. Plus also I'm going to give you a bit of guidance on how to actually cut your losses short and let your wins run. So let's go straight into it. Alrighty, traders, let's get straight into this pattern here. Now, let me give you a bit of a background on this pattern here just for a minute, okay? Now, there's a lot of the times the market will be just going sideways. It won't be doing much. This is actually a pretty powerful pattern, okay? Look for this pattern because it's just amazing. So a lot of the time, or sometimes you'll see the market, it won't really do much, okay? So what I mean by that is this, okay? So sometimes you'll see the market, it might come back down, it might bounce, it might do something like that, it might come back down, it might just go sideways, right? And then do something like that. You might see a period where the market is just going sideways, not really doing much, okay? So here's the really powerful thing. A lot of sometimes when the market's not doing much, and just say for example, this is a big downward trend, okay? Where really we've been doing this sort of thing. We've been coming down, we've been in a bit of a downward trend, and then suddenly we just started going sideways through here overall. Not really much going on. And then suddenly what happens is we have this level here would be what? That would be major support level, okay? And this is actually a very I love trading setups like this. And if you'd like to learn more about my number one trading setup and how I trade the markets and how I scan the markets to find powerful setups just like this, then go to johnsfreetraining.com, JOHNS, johnsfreetraining.com. I've got a free training that goes for about, I don't know, 80 or 90 minutes. And I walk you through everything about my trading system and how I find it and so on and so forth. So go get access to that now. So what happens is this is actually pretty powerful. Firstly, what happens is that the market actually breaks support, okay? It actually comes back down and it breaks support. We're in a bit of a downward trend and we go sideways and not much happens. Now, this is where it becomes really key, okay? It breaks support, but we don't follow through initially. And what happens, we have a strong move down, but then suddenly we have just this very, what we call small bars, small bars, and it rallies back up towards the resistance line. Watch for this pattern, trades. I tell you, if you just trade this pattern alone, you'll crush it in the markets, no matter what market you're looking at, okay? Intraday charts, whatever, okay? Yeehaw, let's go. So you're seeing that, and the market breaks support, and it has little bar, small bar, small bar, small bar, and it's in a downward trend still, okay? So we're still in this downward trend through here. So we're still in a downward trend, and then the market breaks. But when it breaks support, it actually starts to have all these small little bars coming up. It means the buyers are struggling. And then suddenly out of nowhere, a continuation of the trend, we get a very large bar breaking down like that. Very big, large bar. What does that mean? Here's the thing. Small bars means no one's really in control. We're not getting big dominant buying move. We're not getting big dominant selling move. Okay, so there's what we call no one in control in this market here. Makes sense? So if no one's in control in this market here, then what happens is that as soon as we get a big strong dominant bar on the downside, guess what? That means that there's sellers in control. Makes sense? And so then we see this here. Okay, we see this here. This tells us right now that there's a massive probability we're going to be heading down like so, okay? We're going to be heading down like so, like that. There's a massive probability that this is going to be a really successful trade. Now, there's other things you can overlay it, and I'll talk about that a bit later on. Actually, on that free training I'm giving you, I talk about how to take this setup like something like this, and then overlay something else with it to give it a massive probability of making a big move. But I'll just keep it simple right now. This is what you want to see, right? So the first thing is breaking of support, a small little rally up, and then a breaking, okay? And then you want a strong bar breaking down, showing us that we have confirmation that the market is now there's now massive probability we're going to continue down and have a very nice profitable trade out of that. And if I go back and have a look at this chart here, okay? So we're looking at this chart right now, and it doesn't matter what chart this is. It could be any chart, okay? There's two different moving averages on this screen here, and I'll explain the reasons why. I use really three moving averages. You guys have seen it, the 52 moving average, the 20 moving average, and the 9 moving average, okay? I've just always used those myself. So, but forget the moving averages for a minute, okay? If I just actually, I'll just forget the moving averages for a minute, but notice what happens here, okay? Notice what happens here. What see happen is, see how the markets come back down, and then suddenly we just started to really go sideways through here. And then really, this actually was a As you can see, this is actually a major support level on this particular stock at this particular time. And so we had a major support level. Look what happened. And then look what happened. It did what? It broke down. It rallied up. Small bars, struggling. And then guess what happened? And then small bars, see how it's still struggling? It's still struggling. And then still struggling. And then bam. Let's see if I can get that bar. Can I get that bar like that? Oh. Do any of you guys use TC2000? How I can just go. That's the one thing I don't like about TC2000 is I just can't go to the exact bar. All right, come on. All right, software is actually breaking on me. So as my software is doing its thing. So the big thing here is, oh, there we go. All right, let's go back to the bar now. There we go. Come on, bar. Bar one. There we go. All right, let me just go one bar. Where is that bar? Come on. Can I get it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm not going to get it. Okay, cool. So let's actually just do this here. All right, I'll put this down through here. So here's what it looks like, right? As I said before. So what happens is we got a big downward trend. We have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We broke this key level of support. See how we rallied back up with small bars? And then suddenly we broke down with a large bar. This here tells us that there's a massive probability, that we are going to generate a really nice profit on this trade here. And look what happened here. The very next bar actually ran down. Now, just use this, guys, right? Use this. This actually happens for the bullish side as well too, right? If you flip it upside down. Actually, let's see if I can do that. If I just, it also looks the same for the bullish side as well too. If I just, let me take a screenshot of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then just see if I can just, let's see if I can just flip this on its head. There we go, like that, right? So that's exactly what it looked like for a bullish setup. It's the exact same thing. So whenever you look for this, wait for good significant support or resistance, slow, small pullback, and then a very large bar breaking out. It's super powerful. Now, I did promise you I was going to give you a bit of an extra little tip. And the tip is, if you're trying to scale out, if you're trying to let your profits run and cut your losses short, then use a simple, use a close moving average. It could be whatever moving average, right? I use a 9 moving average. Now, I don't always use this. Okay, some trades don't allow for this. Sometimes I'm only in and out the very next bar. It's what I call the short-term trade. Again, on that training, I'll share with you what I call from a short-term trade, and then from a big profitable trade as well too. But this one here had the makers of being a big profitable trade, so we used the 9 moving average of getting out. And as you can see, look what happened there. It actually went from 20 all the way down to, now this again, guys, this doesn't happen all the time, but there's setups out there that's going to happen again like this. Okay, so you can see, look what happened here. We got literally a 60% drop in the markets in roughly about a month there, but using the 9 moving average and just staying in. So use this, guys, in your trading. I promise you that you're gonna kick butt and you're gonna take names. You're gonna kiss babies, and I promise you, if you just stuck to this one setup alone, you won't get many setups. But come to me in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years and tell me you are not absolutely crushing it in the markets. The other thing I do say, traders, is that the hardest thing about trading in general and things like what I'm just talking about here, the number one hardest thing that you're going to have is that you won't get this setup today or tomorrow or next day, or it might be a week without a trade. And then guess what happens? Then you start to take all this other bullshit which causes you to go backwards. But if you just stuck to, because your whole thing about trading, right? This is one thing that I had to learn about the fundamentals to becoming a good trader. Which was, it wasn't the market that ever got me, right? It was always me that got me. And what I mean by that is that I always thought my thinking was getting me. My thinking was, oh, well, I make $400 a week right now washing cars, which I did at the time, right? When I started trading the markets, I only earned $400 a week washing cars. So I thought, okay, well, I need to earn that to replace my income. So I've got to trade every week to make $400. Otherwise, I'm not going to replace my income. So therefore, having that mentality, guess what? Actually caused me to go backwards, because if there wasn't a trade setup that met the trading rules that I knew had a massive probability of working out, then guess what? Then I would take all this other crap and it would cause me to go backwards. But if I just stood back and just waited for really good quality setups, yeah, there might be maybe 50 months of the year, or maybe 50% of the months of the year I don't have any trades, but 50% of the months I do have trades. I'm just throwing numbers out here. If you trade intraday, you're going to have trades every single month, right? But the thing is that if you take those trades, you're likely to do really, really, really well. And if you're trading things like options, do you realize this trade here with using options, and if you just use this strategy, you'd be up 1,000+%. That's like turning 10 grand into 100 grand, just one trade. You see what I'm saying there, traders? So just one really good trade throughout the entire year can make probably double most people's salaries, in just one really, really good trade. And they do come around. That's why it's being consistent, but also knowing what to look for. So go back and back test this, guys. I promise you, you're going to rock out with your sock out, and you're going to crush it. Just be patient, wait for these setups, and you're going to have an amazing trading career. Teach you what I call, and what I commonly call with my actual trading clients here. I call it the channel type of trades, right? The channel type of trades. Now, let me bring you down to here. This here is what's called the channel type of trade. Okay, I'm going to walk you through here. I'm going to walk you through why I believe the energy sector is setting up really nicely, and then also oil is setting up really nicely, right? I'm going to walk you through all this. So I promise you guys, this is the #1 trading pattern. I promise you, ever. Over my last 20 years of trading the markets, this is the single most powerful trading pattern you can identify that's going to give you the best chances of jumping on a trade that's likely to make a big move, right? Who cares about a small move, right? Who cares about a small profit? What would you rather? 10 small profits or one really big profit? One really big profit, right? So that's what I want to share with you in today's video. I'm going to walk you through the exact thing, the channel trades, and why this also turns into why I'm really honing in on the oil market and the energy sector and many other stocks out there. This is just not those markets, but this is just an example of what I'm seeing right now. Right, so here's what we see here, right? This is what's called the channel bullish setups here, right? This is a channel trade here. All right, and then also you can see I've got dozens of screenshots of different trades. And this is also this one here. Now, I'm going to be focusing on this one here, channel bearish type of setups. I promise you guys, this is the single most greatest trading pattern you'll see on the planet, right? Let me break this down for you here right now. Oh my goodness, guys. So here we go. Here's what's called the channel type of trade, right? Channel type of trade. Now, there's three components that goes into an incredible channel type of trade. Let me explain it for you here. The first situation or the first scenario is this one over here, right? Which means we have this. We have a bit of what's called a channel, or at least on a bare minimum, a major support level, right? Not just once, but we've had multiple touch of support. That's step number one. Right, step number one from there. Step number two is for this thing here, right? We need a, just before the breakout of this sideways, not much going on, we need to see a sideways pattern with small candles. Small candles, right? And then what we need is in this one here, we've had a sideways pattern all through here. So if firstly, channel, check. Then, before the breakout, do we have a sideways pattern? Check. And do we have a very large bar breaking down from here? See that very large bar breaking down? Do we have that? Check. That's the first scenario that you're likely to see. That's okay, right? And they're good. And I'll share with you a trade that I did a while ago. And that is, should I say, where is that one that I want to walk you through? There's many examples here. Oh, this one right here. Okay, so this here is an example of a trade that I did back in 2023. There's not many of these trades, guys, but if you're after big profit potential trades, this is it. I'm your man, right? I got your back. Here we go. So, and the reason I'm so excited about this, guys, because I'm telling you right now, if you learn how to identify these trading patterns, and you learn how to qualify them, and you keep an eye out for them. Oh my goodness, right? So what did I say before? Right, we have the what? We have the Chanel. See how we have the Chanel? We have the Chanel through there. Check. What do we have? A sideways pattern. Check. And then we have what? The breakout bar. This was my actual entry signal here. And this is, I like to utilize options. As you can see with the link in the description, guys, for my webinar, you'll see not only the trading setup is very, very powerful, but I like to utilize options. And the reason why is, as you can see, this one here actually was at 25 cents for the option that I got into. And as you can see all the way, and what I like to use for my entries and what I like to use for my exits is this purple moving average. It's the 9 moving average. That was the exit there. Where was the exit? Up here around about $1.25 plus. Now you do the math on that. Now, the reason why I like trading options is because that's the profit, but this is a big, big, big profit, right? I don't know what that math is, but it starts with A and ends in lot. It's called a lot, right? You do a $20,000 or $30,000 position, which is, yeah. Anyway, so, and you can see the reason why I'm so excited about this, right? Because when they do set up like this here and we see the trigger, now guess what? It takes time for this setup, right? It takes, this one here, it takes many months for the channel to appear, for the channel to happen, and then it takes a good another month or two. This is actually what? About over 2 months for it to start to develop the sideways pattern. It takes time to build up. But let me ask you a question. If you can make 6 figures in one trade over the space of a month or more, potentially, if you did like say a $20,000 trade or 10,000, right? Whatever that math is there. I don't know what that math is, right? 25 cents into over $1.25. Yeah, you do the numbers there, okay? Anyway, you see what I'm saying here, right? This is the reason why I like trading options for me. And this is a beautiful, beautiful trade. This is an example of what I just walked you through there, right? And the reason why this is so powerful is because the market is like an energy field. An energy field, right? When we do nothing for a very long time, we go in what's called a no trend. No one in control, sideways, building energy, building energy. And typically when we do break, we end up getting a really big break, right? This is exactly what actually happened with the gold market, right? So but on the flip side, this is, right? This is the reason why I was so excited about gold at the start of last year. You guys are getting gold. You guys are getting excited about gold right now. I was like, last year I was all about the gold market. And some of you guys are saying in the chat box, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Why was I getting excited about the gold market? You see the channel there? See, look at this here. So this is the channel, right? This is the channel. See, we have the channel. This is now for the bullish side, right? There's the channel sideways. We break up. Remember I said before, we break up and then we actually get the sideways pattern. This is when I was getting excited. This is actually when I did trade gold and I got in at the start of the move. Everyone's getting excited now. I'm like, where were you for all of 2024? That's where all the big profits were made. Most people tried to jump in the last month. You know, I've already ate 80% of the pie. I don't want to leave you guys can have the crust, right? I had the middle bit. You know the middle bit? Actually, I didn't even eat pies. What do I like? Oh, butter chicken. There you go, butter chicken, right? Butter chicken and cheese naan bread. Yummo, right? Right? So there you go. So that's what I'm saying through it. So the purpose of me saying this is that this here, as you can see, right, when the market does this, oh my goodness. So that's the first scenario there. The second scenario is when we start to get, and here's just many more examples of what I'm talking about here, right? Many more. See the channel, right? But the other scenario is what we're potentially getting right now in the oil market. And this is why I'm getting so excited. Right, so excited. This one right here. Now, what is this one? This one here is when we get a break out of a long-term level of support. But we need to see what? Now we've got the support. Now we need to see the sideways movement. We're starting to get that right now. And then we need, preferably this blue line here is the moving average. And then we need some sort of strong large bar. What does that look like as an example of that? Let me show you a few trades here, right? So this here would be an example of what we're talking about here, right? This is a stock here, and look at this here. Look at all the support, all the support through there, support. Look at this here. Came down. It wasn't quite a sideways pattern, but it was a slight little small up bar. And then see this, look there. See that big drop through there? And then guess what? This was only like 30% of the move. This is where it actually kept going from here. Right? Let me show you some more examples of what I'm talking about here. Right? This is this one here. Right? This example, actually, you know what? Let me bring in something here. So what I'm looking for is something like this here. See how we actually have, that's that level all through there? And then that's obviously the channel up through there. See that through there? Remember I said before, what are we looking for? We're looking for what? The channel, we get the break out of the channel, then we get the sideways, and then the large bar breaking down. We get something like this. Oh my goodness, it's on like Donkey Kong to the downside. Let me show you an example of what I'm looking for. See guys, this is what I'm doing right now, right? This is the reason why my trading is so successful, because I'm not guessing. I do not guess. I don't hope gold's going to $5,000. Why? If you're trading like that, you're trading the wrong way. See what I'm doing here? I'm trading based off massive probability of trading patterns that seem to work again and again and again and again and again. Now, obviously, there's no 100% where I do have my losses, and sometimes I do some dumbass shit just like you guys. But most of the time, I'm sticking to these patterns, because when I do get one, guys, I'm telling you right now, one trade can potentially make you a lot of money, right? So this pattern here, sideways. So if I go down to that example I'm showing you right here, why this is exactly what I'm looking for something right now on the gold market. Something similar, all right? Not exactly the same. All that simply means is what? We've had a lot of support, all the support, and then we've actually come through here. We've had the side, see that sideways pattern? And then guess what? Then we had the large bar there. See that through there? So it's not exactly perfect of a channel, but we did have all these levels of support through here. There was a bit of a support, there's a lot of support through there and some resistance. Then we came down, and now we actually had a lot of resistance through here. And then see that large bar through there? Big breakdown bar. Now, as I said before, this is what I'm looking for on oil. USO, I don't care. Give it to me, baby. And all the pretty girls say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. So, look at this here, right? So look at this. And this, guys, I'm telling you right now, this is why I get so excited. While everyone's focusing on gold right now, oh my goodness, gold. I'm like, guys, gold has already made a big move in the last 2 years. It's already had a big move. Now let's go focus on markets that haven't had a big move, because if it does start to have big, we're getting in at the start of the big move. Just like I was doing with gold last year. You guys around with me? What was I doing with gold last year? Started last year, right? Yeah, I get it. I've got all my YouTube channel. What was I doing out of gold last year? Guys, gold for majority of last year, right? And guess what? I made a lot of money trading gold. You guys can have the scraps. Now you're getting excited about gold. Of course you are, right? Because it's the final move. It's the final countdown. John, just stick to your job. So that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for this here. And see how it's pretty much the same sort of thing, right? Roughly the similar thing. You have a bit of support through here. Then you have the breakdown sideways, and then the breakdown bar from there, right? So let me show you this here. This breakdown bar is what? That's the entry bar. Again, channel, check. Sideways after breaking the channel, check. Large bar, check. Entry there. And that was the after effect. Do you see what I see? Do you see the reason why I get so excited about trading? Do you see the reason why for you guys that are trading the market, and if you're going based off a hope or a guess, or you don't even understand, I can show you dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of these examples. And it's just not now, right? Here's an example of a channel trade of a chart that I took. Was on the Aussie market when I first started back in the day. And as you can see, this is back in 2003. What is this? What is this? See, resistance, massive support, sideways, large bar. See the channel? So this is the channel. That's the channel. See that through there? Let me do that again. Right, you guys get the point, right? There's the channel. Here is the sideways small bars. Again, this is on the Aussie market back in 2003, right? 2003. Guess what? This is the reason why I love this stuff, guys, because I promise you the trades that I take and the systems and the things that I use is not a gimmick or something. It works on all markets, by the way. There's the channel. See that breakdown bar? And look what happened for about a month. Right, that was a month, nice move on the downside. Again, that doesn't look like much, but when you start to apply some options, that's English for what I just said there was English, is options. Now you see what I see. Oh my goodness, this gets me really excited. Here we go, right? And now you can see the reason why I see. Now you can see the reason why I see what I see, and so on and so forth, because it happens again and again and again, right? Here's 2 examples here, right? Here's some more different examples here on all different markets. This one here is a stock chart. This one here is a futures 2-minute chart. This one here is a daily stock chart. This here is a foreign exchange 2-minute chart. What do we have here? Oh, sideways channel. We have the little sideways pullback, and then because it's all squeezed up, and then we have what? The breakdown bar. And then we have the move down. You see how simple this is? And so this is where, guys, if you're using all complicated indicators and all this sort of stuff, you are doing yourself a dissatisfaction. And now I'm trying to unveil, finally, after all this time. And again, this is only a touch of the iceberg when I teach my inner circle members, right? This is the stuff that I really keep for my inner circle members. But I thought it's time for me to unleash some of the beast inside of me to the world. Not only for my inner circle members. Now, most of this stuff, again, this is the stuff that I really keep for my inner circle members, right? Because I'm with them every day and they invest really good money with me, right? So they get the best of the best of the clam, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up here for you guys and trying to show you is because once you start to see these things work again and again and again and again, you start to see these things forming again. Look at this here. This is what? This is a channel trade, but the bullish side. What is this? We have the channel. We have what? We have the sideways period there. And then we have what? See this. Oh, I need a green, don't we? I need a green this time. Give me green. Oh, I'm so excited about this. See that green through there? So this one here is what? Channel. So if I go to my template, give me a template. Template is what? This guy over here. This guy. See this guy? What is this? Channel. And then just before the breakout, we get the sideways pattern. And then we get a real big large bar breaking out. Ooh, let's go do that again. Channel. Channel. Right, channel. Sideways. Big bar. See that big bar? Look at that big bar. And then look at that thing. Look at that thing absolutely just go to the moon. To the moon. To the moon. Do you see what I'm saying here, guys? Again, I can show you so many different examples here. Here is a trade that I did way back in 2007 on the Aussie futures market. This is a 60-minute chart. What do we have here? I'm telling you right now, guys, this is the reason why my trading and the way that I teach and the way that I coach and what I do is so powerful. Because it's not a gimmick. Right? It's how markets work and always, I'm showing you back, this is 2007. Look at this here. 2007. Let me do this. Let me zoom right in for you so you can see. See this here? 2007. What is this? Oh, wrong. They're here, right? What is this? Say it with me. We have the channel. We have the sideways pattern. And then we had the... Oh, we need a red this time, don't we? We need red. We need red. And then we have the big bar breaking down. And then we start to see the acceleration to the downside. Do you see the reason why I get so excited about my trading? Because my eyes are searching for this. And this is where a lot of traders, and I'm trying to unveil just a touch of what I teach my private clients. Again, this is just the iceberg. But this is the reason why my trading is so successful and my clients are so successful if they follow what I teach them to do, which most of them don't. They still do their dumbass shit and they wonder why they're not successful. You know exactly what I'm talking about, private clients, right? Get your shit together. Right? So, the reason why I'm bringing all this up here with you guys is let's go unveil. Here's another example. I told you guys. See how many, look at this here. What is this? Oh, what is this? Let's go home. Let's go draw. I'm trying to find this guy here, right? Look at that. And let's go you thick. See that through there? Look at that. What do we have? And then we have what? This one here is what? The channel? Down. Sideways. See the large bar breakdown? And away we go. I'm telling you right now, guys. You see the reason why I love trading. And see, this is where, like I'm telling you right now, once you know how to identify these setups, right? Once you know how to identify these setups, it becomes amazing. And then you search and you look for these trades. Why? Because these are the trades that if you have confidence, if you spend a lot of time, many years on developing your confidence with this here, and you see it again and again and again, and you build your confidence, this is when you can start to really identify some opportunities throughout the year for you to start to do really well. Now, why am I getting so excited about the oil market? And why am I saying, guys, forget the gold market. It's been done and gone. Why has it been done and gone? There's the channel. There's the sideways pattern. And there's the breakaway bar. I was riding through here was when I was trading gold. Now I'm giving warning signs because no one knows when the top's going to be in. Right? And people that have been riding this thing here have been called lucky. Don't be lucky. Don't be lucky. Use patterns that works most of the time. When it does work, it works really well. And when it doesn't, you get out for a small loss. Aha! Now, let's go back to here. Why am I so focused on the oil market? Let me see. This is oil. What do we have here? Oh, John. Oh, John. It's one of those, not exactly a channel, but it's one of those, or we could actually identify, we actually have a bit of a resistance all through there, potentially. Right? There could be something through there. But it's the support level, right? Oh, John, do you see this? John, look at this. I'm like, I know. You see it? You see what I see? So now I can go back to what? I can go back to my template. And let me go back to my template. Where's my template? Bring on my template. I'm like, oh, template. Look, here's another one, guys. This is a 2-minute S&P chart. Sideways, big resistance. Big channel there for a while. Look at all that channel there for a while, right? Then you have the sideways small bars, and then you have this big large bar breaking out, and then away we go. I can show you dozens of examples, guys. This one right here. So what is this? Template, support, breaks out, and we develop this sideways pattern. And then we look for this here. Now let's go to the oil market. Here we go. There we go. What is this here? So firstly, what are we getting? And let me actually bring on the 52 as well too. Because as you can see from this template here, the best case scenario, the best example is when we get this sideways movement to a strong trending down blue moving average, which is my 52 moving average on my daily charts. Let's go to here. See my 52? Now we've got big picture. What's this small picture look like? This is what we want to see. Do you see the reason why I'm getting so excited about this here? Look at all this here. You see that? Support, breakdown. Now we're doing this thing here. What do I want to see? This is the moving average. Let's continue the moving average down like this here. Right? Then, now let's change the color. Then let's start to do something like this. And then guess what? And if we get something like that, guess what, guys? Guess what? You know what? I don't know. Maybe that's an example. And then maybe we get something like that to come. Not just 1 or 2 days like you guys are trying to jump in one. See what I'm saying here, right? This is what I'm after. I'm after getting in something and holding for a month for a big profit, right? And so we can see the reasons why I'm getting so excited here. Because if we do drop and we see the drop come, look at this here. We could be heading back down towards, say, maybe 30 levels. Down here, because this is where that next major sort of resistance. We've got some short-term little support level through there. I don't think we're going to go back to 0. But if that happens, guess what, guys? If that happens, and we do that, that's a long way down. That's called a 50% drop through there. Now, so that's the oil market. Let's go to XLE. What is XLE? XLE is XLE. All right. Oh, wrong. Is that the XLE? Let's go. Oh. There we go. That's better. Now, XLE. What's this one? This is the channel. Let's go. Oh, template. Where's the template? Where's my template? Here we go. Template. This one here is more like this one here, right? Look at this. It's more like this one here. Why? We have the channel, but we have the sideways within the channel. And then we're looking for this. Looking for sideways, large bar. What do we have here now? We've had the channel for quite some time. Check. Now what are we getting? All right, that's the level through there, and that's the level through there. Now what are we getting? We're getting this one here. So what am I waiting for? Ooh, if it sets up, and then guys, there's no guarantees of this setting up, right? That's the reason why we want to wait for confirmation. But if we continue this down through here, right? And then we start to get, let me change the color again for you guys. And then we get what? And then we get that guy through there. We may do like a little bit of support through here for a few days. And then and how do you say then timber? Now we're probably not going to get that. It's probably going to last. If we get something like that, it's probably going to last a month or more of slowly going down, right? Just like these examples here, right? We don't. These are. If I zoom right in, look at this here. That was the entry bar, right? Look at this here. This is all of this support through here. And I love it. I love it when all that support becomes resistance. Small bars, big large bar, and then we started the move down. Now as you can see, it doesn't happen really fast, but over the space of a course of 1-2 weeks, we start to see this really big move, and then you jump on a big profit. People are like, let me get in today and get out today. Small profit, 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 small profit. My goodness, that's exhausting and tiring and emotional and probably going to make mistakes. Me, I'm just like, let me find a really good trade. Okay, cool. I'm in. Sit on my hands. Relax. Be patient. Let's go for a few weeks. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that there. I just made a lot of money. And all I do is get in and just relax and let the profit go. Cut your losses short. Let your profits run. So this is the reason why, guys, I am getting so excited about this. Now, guys, this is the channel trade. If you'd like to learn all the details to my actual trading setup when I'm talking about the L shape, this sort of sideways pattern here, sideways and that there, right? This is one of the type of things I'm looking for. Again, this is stuff that I teach about in my inner circle. If you'd like to learn all the details to my actual trading setup I'm looking for every single day, I'm running a webinar today, and on that webinar, I'm going to teach you all the details to my actual trading setup. This here is touching the iceberg. You want to go deep into my story about how I came across this, how I learned this, how I utilize this, and also how I utilize the scans that I have to find these potential trades. Then that first link in the description there, guys, click on that, go join my webinar, and I promise you, if anything, now you know the reasons why trading can be good for you. We just got to know what to look for in the first place, and no more trading based off hope, wish, think, or fear. It's like, does it meet the trading setup? Yes, here we go.